Okay, I got the bars kind of up on there a little bit. I got to tighten up the risers right now. Once you get your handlebars roughly tightened up, that squares up the riser, then you can tighten the riser up. If you do it the other way around, it doesn't work very well. If you use the frame here to help hold the front end for you, it makes it a lot easier. These bushings must be shot. What a shocker. The handlebars are leaning way back right now because the risers are nowhere near square in the back. So that's going to give a horrible mock-up. So that means we're going to redo it. Another set of bushings over here that we didn't use, so swap them out. I purposely didn't put the urethane ones in there yet, but I guess I should have. We'll just do that now anyway. Makes it easier. Urethanes will stay put, so. We just have to have them sitting over here. Alright, we'll just slip in these urethane ones. They don't press in any way, they just slide in, so it's not like they're hard to swap back out. Just trying to save time, as usual. Just cost time. The bushings are jammed in there pretty good. Just kind of working around in a circle, they come up. There we go. Of course, it doesn't want to come out. And we'll just knock it out. One down. Do it again. There you go. These are out. Put the good ones in. Ooh, these are going tight. That's not how they usually fit. Wonderful. Okay. Go ahead and get the lower piece in without the sleeve in the middle so it can collapse on a little bit. That's going tight. Original parts work good. Aftermarket trees are loose as a goose. Okay, we'll put the rubbers in. After we do that, then we'll slide the bushing all the way in. We'll have to beat it in, but well. Push it into the hole here on the edge. Get it started. Goes in. Okay. Feed the sleeve in. He's in there. Put the new chrome washers here on the top so it looks pretty. Very important. Alright, try this again. These bolts need to be a 1/4 inch longer too, so they're a little on the short side. You want to at least have your nut fully engaged on the threads. Not very safe when they're not engaged all the way. For mock-up it doesn't matter, but for riding it does. Okay, that washer's. These tight ones. There we go. Okay, turn the fork the other way now. Helps to tighten things kind of equally. It's tight. Oh, that bolt's exactly the right length. There we go. Alright, those are in. Still look like they're in there at an angle. That's weird. Something ain't made right. Maybe the riser's cut at an angle. Makes it turn. Makes it go in sideways. Who knows? Something's not quite right. Okay, we're going to check our handlebar torque here. These little narrow handlebars don't let the riser clamp down correctly. They're torquing on the radius. So the bar is bent oval shape because when you bend the bar it goes like this, it doesn't stay around. So we're not even in the clamp. So we're digging in real heavy here on the side, and also this is radius and upright here, so we're dug up in the top also right here. We have big gaps down here on the bottom. So these are going to want to rotate a little bit until they kind of wear themselves to fit. They're not knurled, so oh well. So if you want these custom narrow bars, to make it correct, you have to go in and radius cut the edge here a little bit on the clamp, so it goes up like this. And makes it better. And then it wouldn't hurt to crush the bar and press flat right there either, so at least it's more round, but it might not make the chrome very happy on either one of those two parts if you did that. So that means I can't do it. On my bike it would, but on my bike I never run them damn bars. So there you go. When I cut down my handlebars to make them narrow, I purposely measure them so they're flat where I want to be. So I don't have that problem. Okay, now I gotta get this bike up here into the rack by myself because nobody here to help me. So that's gonna be fun. I wonder how we're gonna do that little stunt. Now there's nothing really important here to fall down, so it shouldn't be a problem. Too bad. maybe. We'll see. What can we break if it falls? Probably nothing important, I bet. It's only a Harley. Can't be worth that much. Alright, let's see how we're going to do this. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to pull it back a little ways. There we go. See, I can get the front wheel up in the air. Of course, as soon as you put it up in the air, it's going to want to fall over. We do have the back of the frame where it's going to tilt up onto a little bit. Well, let's see how heavy this is going to be. Not too bad. And the back of the frame is helping it be stable. So it doesn't want to just quite fall over. So we're safe. There you go. There we go. That's easy. All right. Easy peasy, as they call it. All right. Now we get this lift up onto here somehow. That'll be fun. Get this in the back of the rack, so I can pick the bike up and just shove it under there. That's another easy one to do. Yeah, you can see what I'm doing pretty good. Luckily the bike's not too heavy, so I got a loader and tranny in it. Nothing to it. All right. The rack is so uneven. Raise up a little higher, make it more unstable. There we go. I'm sure that was perfectly safe, right? Okay, now we get to do the back of the bike. Some tools required. Okay, we had this halfway done before, so we have some axle space to choose from down there, and an axle that used to fit. And a brake caliper I think we had mocked up here before, so it might even actually fit in here. Of course, I'm not going to guarantee any of that happening. Okay, there's our sleeves. Alright. Okay. Customer's going to be pissed he wasn't here to help do all this. He really wanted to help do this. He's going to be pissed. Yeah. Oh well. Sometimes you got to leave early. Okay. So it appears that we are missed it by about 1/8 of an inch. My eyeballs are out of spec, I guess. Okay, we should be slightly higher right there probably. Back it down just a tick. Okay. So here's our fancy caliper bracket we're using. This is an FXR caliper bracket. Works good on 4-speed bikes. They're not supposed to, but we don't care what's supposed to fit. We only care that what actually does fit, see? Big difference in those two. Okay, looks like we're going to need a spacer on this side. We're going to need a big fat spacer over there, if not a couple of them. I don't remember what goes where right now, so this is our thinnest one, so I'm thinking that's a good one to start with. We have a thicker one. Keep from losing our caliper there. We have a fat one over here. That looks correct on this side. I always run my axles in from the left side, so the nut's on this side. Now, I don't care what people say, that's how I like doing it. Except on rigid frame old bikes with drum brakes. Then they're going backwards, they're going this way. Now the reason I do that is because the exhaust system's getting way over here. So if you have the nut on this side, you can clear the pipes no matter pretty much how close they are, unless they're right on top of the nut. You can get your axle out without pulling the exhaust system off. Otherwise, if it goes in like that, you have to pull the exhaust system and get the damn axle out. It's stupid. So, if you're worried about your axle coming loose, tighten the damn thing down. Tight axles do not come loose or bend. I have never been an axle on my race bike yet, and I bet the frame bouncing around so bad. When you get cones at 150 mile an hour, they tend to bounce. Never been an axle. Or a wheel. They tighten the spokes down really tight too. Almost lost the caliper there. Okay, so we have no spacer that goes in here that's thin. So maybe this is supposed to go right up against that, and we use a thicker spacer here. Not quite that thick. This one's been cut down, so maybe that's the one we're supposed to have in here. Pretty close. Maybe I should go back and look at an old video so I know how I did it. I don't think so. Bit low. Go up a little bit. I don't know why this is being such a pain, but it is. The spacer's catching right here on the swing arm. It won't let me drop the spacer where it belongs for whatever reason. Probably because it wants to screw with me. Okay, now I'm too high in the air. Okay. Once you get the axle all in, now see if there's any side play in the wheel. Okay, we have a little bit of extra clearance in here, which means the swing arm will have to be squeezed to tighten the axle up. See how the spacer's loose right now? That should not be loose. It should be tight. So maybe we're supposed to put one of these thicker ones in there or some other one. So I'm going to have to take that one out, try to find something a little thicker. We're all the way over on this side, so we're good on this side. This here's the problem right here. So I need about another 30 thou in here would be perfect probably. 20 to 30. So let's see what we can come up with. Be helpful to have the right stuff. Ooh. There's an axle here. Okay. Thicker than that one. This one here is quite a bit thicker. Now this here is an older one. Looks like about the right height though. About 30 thou bigger, so this is probably the right one. This one's all dirty, so this might be an old one that he had, or it might be one of mine I had laying around, I don't know. Let's clean it up a little bit, see if there's anything wrong with it. If there's anything wrong with it, we'll get another one. Yeah, it's got crappy chrome on it, so we can't have that. Alright, so we're going to go find another spacer. So that means I get to go to the spacer box and find one. It's a good thing we got a lot of spacers around here. We also have to measure it to see how thick it is. There we go. Grab the caliper. It's an 830. That's a pretty standard dimension. I get to go over here to my axle spacer boxes. There's one of them. Okay, so just go in here and grab a couple that are just loose in here. There we go, an 830 right there. Nice clean new one. Perfect. Take the crappy one, put it back. There we go. That's why I stock just about every spacer they make. So I don't have to custom make the damn things. You take a chrome spacer and make it custom, you cut the chrome off, it's going to rust. So that's not any good either. Alright, so this one here is the one that had the crappy chrome on it. This here is the good one. Now this one here has a little bit more of a radius to it, so it won't dig into the inside the swing arm as much. But the disadvantage, it doesn't hold as much holding power. So, like everything is a trade-off to when things are made differently. Okay, now this is going to be a little bit hard to put in now because it's thicker. It's actually the right dimension, so. It definitely does not want to go in. I think that's more than 30 thou difference. It's quite a bit more than 30, so I won't go in. Go measure it. Yeah, that would be the problem. So this cut down one is 754. This one's 830. That's why it won't fit. It's way too stinking big. So this one here is about 757. So we need another 40 thou. So if I cut this down to 800, cut 30 off of it, it'll probably get me close. But more likely, I'll probably have to be slightly less than even that. But that's a good starting point. So I'm going to go cut this thing down a little bit, customize it. I don't know why I thought the other one was a bolt-in. Obviously it wasn't. Okay, so we're going to put this in my lathe over here and do a little trimming. Now one advantage of this is we're going to have a lot more meat where it goes up against the swing arm, so to give us more holding power. So which side is thinner? They look about equal on the thickness here. So I'll cut this one first from this side. Okay, you go until you touch and you put your dial indicator on here so you know where the hell you're at. Zero. Turn off. 20. There's 30. That's a lot better. Deburr our hole a little bit. That one's dead. Okay, now we have a nice, very flat area, large area for pushing against the swing arm. See how thin this area is here? It's really thin. This one's almost full way across. We do have a little bit of a chamfer left here, so I don't have to cut it from the outside edge. Now we can put a little bit of something on here to keep this from rusting. A little flash coat of paint or something, and it'll be just fine. I'm sure this will be back apart again because we have to put a fender in at some point. So we'll put a little clear fingernail polish on there or something. He's been using a lot of that lately. Okay, now let's see if this one will fit in there. Definitely didn't want to go the first time. So put the good side against the swing arm. Let's see if this fits a little better. It's still a little tight. Definitely a lot better though on the fit. Just not quite there though. Here comes my top and makes it. Oh my God, there's a little bit of scratch right there. You can see it now. You ain't gonna be happy about that. There you go. Okay, now we got a nice snug fit. I'll probably take 10th thou off it again to make it where it just fits in just perfect. So I don't have to put a scratch in it like I just did right there. Maybe you won't watch the video and see that, right? Yeah, whatever. That's what they make felt tip pins for. Okay. Now this axle is not giving us a lot of room. They're putting a big thick nut on there with the lock washer. So you just have to tighten the hell out of the nut. There's no lock washer. Okay, where's my crescent wrench at? I didn't bring that. Whenever you jump a bike up, make sure you got enough room to put your fingers under the tire. It really hurts when you spin a tire and my fingers get jammed in there. It squeezes that piss out of them. Makes them hurt. So always jack them up so you got enough room, don't hurt yourself. Okay, that looks pretty good. So, should be pretty happy, except that scratch right there I did. See, I didn't do that. That was already there. Someone else did that, right? Yeah, sure. Okay, there's that. And this sprocket here lines up pretty close to that one way the hell up in there. You have to follow the chain line way up in the front. There's a black sprocket up there. We already checked that before, but we'll be checking it again before we're done with it. You notice how the FXR bracket fits really good on the Harley swing arm 4-speed bike. Even though it's not made for this, it's a nice application, and the caliper comes in and clears the shock pretty good too. Now we don't have that big ugly ass caliper here, or the one hanging off the bottom. Tucks in real nice and clean. The PM stuff here fits really, really good. Some of the other brands I had to modify the clamps over here a little bit, but this one seems to fit in there really nice, which is good. Now here's our caliper. Use this. There we go. Nice PM black one. Thought this had bolts with it at one time, but they don't appear to be here anymore. Maybe that was a different caliper I worked on. There you go, that goes right in there. So it appears the front calipers come with bolts. Rear ones don't, I guess. Unless I buried them somewhere. Nope. Not in the box. Alright. Looks like we'll have to do a little bit of shimming here also. Yeah, I don't know. No. I think it bolts right on. I'm going to need a bolt though. So I can find me a chrome bolt to go in here. He's going to probably want to have Allens. I hate Allens. Appears to be a coarse thread. It's 3/8. So the other calipers have Allens on them. See, they come with Allen bolts. So maybe I'll do something different. I'm sure he wouldn't mind that, would he? We can always be different. Okay. I like being different, so I grab hex head. Now you grab nice heavy duty hardened washers also. So they look really good and they don't bend when you tighten them, so they stay put. Another very important thing when it comes to doing a brake system. Okay, we have about that much engagement, which looks like it'll be enough to work with what we need. What are we hitting on? Bracket didn't fit its own bracket. Something is binding. Bolt don't want to start correctly. Something is not right. Yeah, won't go. So that bracket does not fit that caliper. These brackets might not be PM. I remember, or might be a different supplier. So right now it's not fitting. I guess the top of the bracket is about, it's got some powder coat on there, and it's just enough to keep it from engaging correctly. Yeah, that's what it is. It's just right hitting on it. There it goes. I get the bolt to start, move the caliper back and forth, it'll leave a wear mark when I pull it off next. Looks like this has the same problem on this one. Yeah, just right on top of it. Use the front door.
Front door?
That's the one that works. Midnight visitors. Okay, so there's the caliper I mounted. It's real tight right up in here, so I'm going to have to do some fine tuning in that. And it looks like it is a little bit too close there, so the caliper needs to go in further. That's not going to happen here. So this bracket's going to have to be made thinner, or something else is going to have to be done also. So, not quite fitting. More stuff to work on.